Dust on the Opry circle, neon humming low. Tonight we're doing something a little different, y'all. 10 legends, equal time, and a whole lot of heart. These are the most underrated classic country artists in my book, and we're giving each of them a full minute plus to breathe. Pull up a chair. Vern Gosdin first. Folks called him The Voice, and you'll hear why the second that oak baritone hits. He'd been cutting records since the West Coast days with his brother Rex, but that late 80s run sealed it. Set 'em up, Joe. I Can Tell by the Way You Dance, and The Gut Punch Chiseled in Stone, which took CMA Song of the Year in 1989. Picture it, Columbia Nashville on the label, Bob Montgomery at the board, honest-to-goodness saddlebags of sorrow in every note. Vern wasn't flashy. He didn't need to be. He carved truth into 3 minutes at a time, the kind of truth that makes a bar go quiet. Put him on a jukebox in any little Tennessee roadhouse and you'll see heads bow like prayer.
That echo of that honky-tonk crowd, and listening to the sunrise, even that's a little too loud.
Connie Smith, Now There's a Voice with Silver Thread Woven Through It, July 16th, 1964, RCA Studio B. She cuts Bill Anderson's Once a Day with Bob Ferguson producing. The single hits #1 on November 28th and stays there for 8 weeks straight into January 65. That's a record most of us can't imagine, and for nearly 50 years no other solo woman matched it. Connie joined the Grand Ole Opry in 1965 and never left our hearts. When she leans into a ballad, it's like the air in the room shifts. Steel guitar turns to glass, and that Connie cry tells you everything you need to know about longing.
When you found somebody new, I thought I never would.
Don Gibson wrote the blueprint for modern country loneliness, June 7th, 1957, Knoxville, Tennessee. He sits down and writes, "Oh, lonesome me, and I can't stop loving you," in the same day. By December 3rd, he's in RCA Studio B with Chet Atkins, cutting him for the ages. One becomes a smash for Don. The other becomes a world standard, covered hundreds, heck, hundreds of times, including a pop number. One for Ray Charles. That's Gibson's gift, plain talk that still tastes like poetry. If the Nashville sound had a beating heart, it was Don turning hurt into melody.
Don't you know, I'd welcome her right back here in my arms. There must be some way I can lose these lonesome blues. Get above the past and find somebody new.
Dottie West brought country elegance with a wink. In 1973, she takes a Coca-Cola jingle called Country Sunshine and sings it so sweet and strong it wins a Clio and sails to #1, 2 on the country chart. 7 years later, 1980, she gets her first solo number, one with A Lesson in Leavin', sharp, sassy, and radio ready. In between, those smiling duets with Kenny Rogers helped set the warm glow of the late 70s. Dottie could step from a studio to national TV and make both feel like a friendly kitchen. That's a rare trick, authenticity that travels.
Ladies and gentlemen, here in the Marty Robbins spotlight is Miss Dottie West.
You say you love me, and it's inviting to go where life is more exciting.
Billy Joe Shaver, the outlaw poet with sawdust on his boots. Born tough, lived tougher, lost 2 fingers in a mill, thumbed rides to Nashville, and kept knocking till the door opened. In 1973, Waylon Jennings turns around and cuts Honky Tonk Heroes, 9 Shaver songs beating in its chest. That record becomes a load-bearing wall of the outlaw era, lean, real, stubborn about the truth. Billy Joe wrote like he meant it, sang like he'd paid for every word, and passed the torch to anybody brave enough to tell the truth over a Telecaster.
On a rainy Wednesday morning, that's the day that I was born in that old shared cropper's one-room country shack. They say my mammy left me day before she had me, said she hit the road and never once looked back.
Johnny Rodriguez blew fresh air into country radio, bilingual baritone and Texas to the bone. First singles in 72 and 73, then The Flood, You Always Come Back, to Hurting Me, Ridden My Thumb to Mexico, and more. 6 number ones across the 70s and into the early 80s. He'd switch from English to Spanish mid-song and make it feel effortless, like a dance step he'd known since childhood. Johnny passed on May 9th, 2025 in San Antonio at 73. Sabinal still claims him, and so do I. Spin those Mercury and Epic sides, and you'll hear a door pushed wider for the next generation.
Is anybody going to San Home or Phoenix, Arizona? Any place is all right as long as I can forget I've ever known her.
Linda Martell, Courage in High Heels. In 1969, she put Color Him Father on the country chart and stepped onto the Grand Ole Opry stage as the first black woman to do it. Plantation Records put out her album Color Me Country in 1970, and for a minute there, the dial shifted. Radio couldn't ignore what she could do. The road wasn't fair, too much noise from folks who didn't want to share the stage, but Linda never cracked. The tone, the phrasing, the grace under fire, she made a lane where there wasn't one and proved it could hold a crowd.
Living and working in the city, I thought I was a big girl. Oh, I felt so smart, and my own life I was true.
Hank Locklin, tenor like stained glass at Sunday service. January 1960, he's in the studio with Chet Atkins. By February, Please Help Me, I'm Falling is out in the world. It goes to number 1 and stays there 14 weeks. The sound of the Nashville sound done right. Hank joined the Opry in November 1960 and kept that membership light burning for decades. Put on those RCA cuts, Floyd Kramer's slip note piano dancing under that high Florida voice, and you'll hear why country could cross oceans without losing its roots.
In love with you, close the door to temptation, don't let me walk through.
Earl Thomas Conley owned the 1980s in quiet fashion, 18 number ones, and in 1984 he became the first artist to pull 4 number 1 singles from the same album. Thinking Man's Country, folks called it. He wrote adult stories set to radio gold, steel string confessionals that never talked down to the listener.
In and out of honky-tonks, from one town to the next. But anything worth loving, Lord, just too hard to forget.
Gene Watson, singer's singer, clean as a whistle, lived in as a boot heel. He's the man behind Farewell Party and the 1981 chart topper 14 Karat Mind, and he finally took his rightful place as a Grand Ole Opry member in 2020. Put Gene against a good fiddle and he'll float right on top, unhurried like he's got all night. Now,
World alone,
I know you'll have fun at my farewell party.
I know you'll be glad when I'm gone.
are these artists underrated? Depends who you ask. In bar rooms, buses, and backstage green rooms, they're saints. On t-shirts and pop culture chatter, they're too often a footnote. But listen close. Vern's oak-aged sorrow, Connie's silver thread cry, Gibson's song Smith magic, Dottie's TV bright charm, Billy Joe's outlaw poetry, Johnny's bilingual breeze, Linda's first through the door courage, Hank's golden era glide, Earl's grown-up grace, and Gene's steady true tone, each one widen the road. So here's your little jukebox map. One deep cut apiece to chase tonight. Vern's Set 'em Up Joe rolling down Nolansville Pike at midnight. Connie's tiny blue transistor radio while you wash dishes. Gibson's Sweet Dreams on a Rainy Morning, Dottie's Here Comes My Baby on a Sunny Drive, Billy Joe's Old Five and Dimers Like Me When the Gas Light Blinks, Johnny's Riding My Thumb to Mexico with the Windows Down, Linda's Bad Case of the Blues When the Day Runs Long, Hank's Send Me the Pillow You Dream On Before the Porch Light Clicks Off, Earl's Holding Her and Loving You as the City Quiets, Jean's Lovin' the Hot Afternoon When the Coffee's Gone and the Stories Start. If you're nodding along, you're family here. And if some of these names are new, well, welcome to the neighborhood. Hit play, dig in, and tell me in the comments who surprised you most. If you love classic country told with heart and straight talk, mash that subscribe, ring the bell, and share this with a friend who needs a better playlist. I'm saving you a chair for next time.